and we'll do our mock drafts. Okay, so give me your thoughts on the comments that Jerry made, and it started off the little firestorm, and then your thoughts on Micah's contract, where we're at, his agent, David Mulugeta, and all of that.
Um, I think that where Jerry is at, I think that
I'm gonna turn
Jerry.
my fan on while you talking.
All right, Jerry made those comments saying that he don't know Micah's agent name and all of this stuff. That's who Jerry is. He's just talking. He know exactly who David Mulligeti is. He better know. But even if he don't know, it don't mean nothing. He has a type of relationship with Micah to where it's not even about that. Like Jerry's not wrestling with David Mulligeta. That's Steven. And what's the other guy name?
Adam
Uh,
Pacifica.
yeah, Adam. That's Steven and Adam Pacifica job. They're the ones. It's really Steven. They're the ones that's really negotiating with David Mulligeta. So, uh, you
And
know, uh,
Jerry is the closer.
yeah, Jerry is a closer. Jerry just signs the name on the check. He just signs
Yeah.
the check. And then Jerry is also talking to Micah. He's a brand ambassador. So, he's like, Jerry is talking to Micah all the time about his business ventures, him being the president of Bleacher Report Gridiron, and him being, him being an ambassador for all these other sports I don't know what you call them.
Brands.
Yeah, all these other sports brands and things like that. Name, image, and likeness. So Micah is an entity. It's not. It's not. It has nothing to do about when he talking to Micah. It had nothing to do about his contract. These guys don't talk about that with the owners because that's not their job. That's not what they do. David Mulugeta is talking to Steven, and David Mulugeta probably told Steven. I mean, it's really black and white. We know that he's going to get paid more the longer that he waits. And we know that he's going to get paid. He deserves to be paid the highest in the league. And he's going to get that. The only thing that's going to be different is he probably going to get, um, it's not going to be that much of a $215 million contract or nothing like that, but he's probably going to have the most guarantees in the league ever. I think the
Yeah.
most guaranteed is like 150. He'll probably have 153 and
And I,
something
and
like
I
that.
and I think the yearly it's gonna be 42 or 43 because I think the highest pay right now is it 40.
Yeah.
So he's gonna come in at 42, 43.
Yep.
So when I calculated it was 5 years, $210 million. Now the negotiation is just gonna be the guarantee, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, it's pretty much done. Now they drag it out to August.
They probably will.
It's possible.
I think they'll draft it out and try to make a big deal because like the only thing that the fans and the media can latch on to is Micah at training camp. Like that's the
Yeah,
only thing that they can latch on to. So
and it's content.
yeah, it's content. So they're gonna do that. They're gonna drag it out. I'm sure.
And what you're gonna hear too, you're gonna hear it a couple of times before it's done. You're gonna hear the trading stuff.
Yeah,
They're gonna float out. Uh,
he might be
it,
traded in their draft night.
so you're gonna hear it, just book it. But at the
Yep.
end of the day, the deal is gonna get done. So I didn't really put a whole lot into what Jerry said. It's just negotiation. David Mulugeta works for the same agency that Todd France works for. He did
Hmm.
Dak's deal.
And Jerry said something about Todd France when he was negotiating too, didn't he? Remember he said something about Todd France. He
You
said
know what
something.
I remember about Todd France is that he was more public. He was more in view during Dak's deal. David Mulugeta hasn't been, but that doesn't really mean anything. But yeah, I think you nailed it. Stephen Adam Pacifica. Someone did report, and I think it was Clarence Hill that Stephen and Adam Pacifica and David Mulugeta have already talked. So
Yeah.
that's all you need to hear right there. Jerry's just doing his thing. Uh,
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. I mean, he does that every time. I mean, it never fails. I mean, this is a cycle for
mhm.
them. They're gonna do it again with Deron Bland, and they're gonna do it with Tyler Smith. Same thing.
So hopefully,
Um,
what we'll see with Deron Bland, Tyler Smith, and then Ferguson is that those deals get done, in a much more quiet manner. Uh,
yeah, Ferguson will probably get done in a quiet manner because it's not going to be that much. And then
mhm.
Deron Bland, if I was them, I would, what we want to see the Cowboys do is pay Deron Bland early, but
Yeah,
they never do that. So that's it. It is what it is. We want to see them do that, but they have to. You know what you're also saying is you know that they're going to do that because they are moving things around to have cap money available.
Hmm.
So they wouldn't be doing that if they wasn't going to sign those guys. They would be using that on contracts with players that are not on this team right now. That's why when you hear about, think about it like this: the Cowboys have cap money right now, and they can do things to get
Yeah, it's
cap
nothing
money.
like it was last year.
It's nothing. They have cap money right now, and they can do things like sign Micah to get cap money. And they're talking about getting a receiver, and they're talking about trading for a receiver. They're specifically talking about trading for a receiver when we know they have the cap money right now to just sign a receiver and not
Yeah,
even have to trade for him. But they're specifically talking about trading for a receiver if there's not one in the draft. So what that lets us know is that they're going to be using that cap money to sign the freshmen that's coming in and to sign the rookies that's coming in. And they're gonna be using that to sign Tyler Smith, Deron Bland, and all the rest of these guys. So that's how they gonna do that. And what was the next thing you said you wanted me to talk about?
I think we kind of combined it. We was talking about Jared's comments and Micah's contract, so it's kind
Oh
of
yeah.
pretty much all the same.
Yeah, Micah gonna get signed. I think it's just gonna be really my only question for next season is how is what's the name our defensive coordinator going to behave? Is how is he gonna have our defense looking? Besides, what is he gonna bring to the table besides what we already have? We already have playmakers on our team. We know what Micah brings to the table. We know what Sam Williams brings to the table. We know what Wanye, Bell, Hooker, Donovan Wilson. We know what they bring to the table. We know what Mozzie brings to the table. We know how our cornerbacks play. We know
Yeah,
how these guys
yeah,
play.
the
So
spotlight is gonna be on Eberflus.
yeah, the spotlight gonna be on Eberflus because it's just like we know what these guys are capable of because they've been here before. So we know that this is a average to above average defense. So how are you gonna come in and match the scheme and attack other teams? That's what we want to see.
And I think he's gonna come up with something because he's gonna be challenged. He's got first of all, just dealing with Micah. You know, that's you could just pretty much just stop right there. He's got to get in a lab just for
Yeah,
Michael because you can't show up with Michael Parson with some,
off the wall,
well, not off
not
the wall,
working.
just bland, just
That ain't gonna work.
ain't got no kind of, pizzazz to it.
Nah,
That's not gonna work. And then,
nah.
Dante Fowler is kind of the same player. Sam is the same type of player.
They will go off on you in front of the media, but they will talk bad about you in the media. They will say
And
something like,
then
our coach is just not doing what he's supposed to do. That's what they'll say that.
so he's got some dynamic players. It's gonna be incumbent on him to kind of pull it all together. But look, he's got a lot riding on the line. He what happened with him in Chicago. He understands too. This is the last train leaving for him.
Yeah, so he can play good. And it's not like the offense last year. The offense last year, they were muzzled. They could talk, but like
Hmm.
CD kept getting unmuzzled. He kept saying stuff after post game. He was talking. CD, he's that receiver. He's that guy on your team. He's that Dez guy on your team where he ain't getting the ball. He throwing temper tantrums on the sideline. He will do that. You know what I'm saying? He will. If Dak miss a play or if Dak throw it on the right when it should be on the left, he will charge Dak up on the sideline. We've seen it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it to where he was going off on Dak and Dak was acting like he didn't hear him talking because CD was saying some nasty things to him. So, we see CD do that. So this year with CD and Dak having the kind of leverage that they have on the offense because Shoddy is their guy, they
Yeah.
gonna be rocking and rolling.
So we gotta talk about So you got Aaron White Cotton. He's got a good reputation around the league. One of the defensive coaches.
Yeah.
So he the Jets. I was very impressed with the Jets defensive front and the way they played, the physicality.
Yeah.
So he's in the mix. So I think we kind of got some good things going. We're gonna just see how it comes together and then just then work in the draft as well.